changing face of the opioid crisis. In the last week, 15 people died from drug overdoses right here in Cuyahoga County.
And while addicts younger in age may come to mind, half of these recent deaths were people 60 and over. It is a troubling new trend that is not only emerging here, but across the country. News 5's Mike Brookbank joins us live now. And Mike, this spike in senior deaths has one nurse in Cleveland sounding the alarm.
Yeah, Danita, she tells me these new emerging statistics are proof that the older population is in need of more education about opioid abuse. When it comes to who is abusing opioids,
usually the folks who are hardest hit by this are people between the ages of 45 and 50.
But a shift in this latest surge of fatal overdoses.
50% of the deaths that we had were for folks over 60.
The Adams Board of Cuyahoga County taking notice.
We are concerned that there are more elderly people falling victim to this.
As for why they may be more at risk,
elderly people are more likely to have pains or physical illnesses.
Many of them turning to legal medications to treat those problems up until now. The opioid crisis changing how those pills are prescribed.
It puts a crunch on people that might be even just a little bit abusing the medications, and it pushes them out on the street.
And that's where Carol Negus, director of nursing at Stella Maris, tells us addicts run into trouble.
People are actually overdosing from one pill.
Negus believes some of the older people to die from overdoses in the last week bought the drugs from someone on the streets.
People are really starting to be wary about it. I think that's why we're seeing a decrease in the young people.
That message, Negus tells me, may not be reaching those 60 and over.
We can't assume that just because they're elderly that they're not going to be abusing these medications.
Data from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health suggests opioid misuse is increasing among older adults. The epidemic nearly doubling among Americans over the age of 50.
Because they do have more aches and pains, that maybe we could do a better education piece.
The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner tells us the death location of these victims is evenly split on both sides of the city, east and west. Meantime, tests are being conducted to determine what was in those drugs. We're live in Cleveland tonight. Mike Brookbank, News 5.